A lot of people who start their service business, they are thinking only in terms of, I have a product or service and I'm looking for customers. And they're only thinking about those two relationships. And what they don't realize, something I didn't realize when I first started too, is that you can grow a lot faster when you realize this magic thing called partners. But there's 3 types of important partners in a business. Welcome back to the Security Bros. I'm Ken, this is James, and those 3 partners are: 1, internal, and this is the one that probably most people think of when they think of a partner. Is they think of somebody who has equity in the business, maybe 2 bros working together in a business, and they're partners. Maybe they handle 2 aspects of the business like we do. The second type of partner you can have is vendors. We have vendors where we buy product from and that we supply to our customers. And sometimes those relationships are more of a partnership. For instance, one vendor, they work with us on credit terms. And they also will work with us on, let's say, special pricing for a project. If we have a project and we really need to come in kind of competitively, we can ask for a special quote and they can check around and see if they're able to give us special pricing on some products, especially if we have to buy a lot of them for a particular project. But the third type of partnership, and this one is really cool, and this one is really especially cool for making a lot of sales. A lot of sales very fast, actually. And the third one is called affiliates. There's 2 types of affiliates that we work with. One is really good for money and one is much better for building business. And so I'll give an example of both. We work with a company that is something of a consultant for a lot of large chains, especially a lot of large grocery store chains in the US. They will handle a lot of services on behalf of the client. And so like that client might say, hey, I have an electrical problem at my grocery store. I have a security out in my grocery store. I have a pipe that has broken in my grocery store. They have all of these things require services of contractors. And so this consultant will have, they don't go there personally, but they have relationships with the plumber and the electrician and the security companies in all of these areas. Because some of these stores, they have a footprint across maybe the entire US, but very few plumbers have a footprint across the whole US. So what these stores do is they work with this consultant that then creates a footprint across the US by having plumbers and electricians and security providers all over the US to help this grocery store. So the grocery stores have a single place to call for all their problems. And so this consultant makes those problems go away. One of the ways they make that happen is by having relationships with companies like ours. They use this consultant to call companies like ours. They pay us a very good fee. It makes us a bunch of money and we can go out to these places and solve their security problems. But it doesn't make us more clients, and therefore it doesn't build the business. It may build up the revenue for a year, but if we were selling the company, one of the things that would make it more valuable to a potential investor is to see a certain number of clients and to see that that client base is growing. But this thing doesn't make our client base grow because we're just working with the one consultant. They're not referring us to anybody else. They don't want us working with anybody else because they want us, for themselves. So like, why would they refer us to another consultant that might be a competitor of theirs or refer us directly to clients? They don't want to refer us directly to clients because they want those clients to work with them. It doesn't lead to anything else. It doesn't increase our client base. Great, so they're good for money. The other type of affiliate is great for not just making money, but for expanding the business, increasing the client base. I'll give an example. We work with a company called Butterfly MX. I don't know why they had to throw the MX at the end there, because everybody calls them Butterfly. But they make this touchscreen video intercom system that you put on the outside of some main door to a building, and it allows visitors and delivery people, and it could be staff, it could be residents, it could be USPS, like the post office. We work with them to install their product. What happens is they'll get leads because they spend a lot in marketing. They spend a ton of money in marketing and they get these leads, but they don't install the product themselves. Instead, they work with partners like us to install their product. And so we're Butterfly MX, certified. It's not that hard to become, but we're certified, whatever. And it means that they can now, in our area, they can get all these leads and they can push those leads to us to go install the product. And the cool thing about it is that when we go and we meet with the client and we're there as the installer, the client says, can you guys also install security cameras? Yeah. Can you guys also install a key fob system? Yeah. Can you also install alarm sensors? Yeah. And so next thing you know, while we're installing this video thing for Butterfly, we end up making also a new client and we install all this other stuff. And that client for us a lot of times is a apartment building or a condo building, which means that there's multiple people involved. It's not just it's a lot of times an HOA, but there's also, if it's an apartment building, there's probably going to be a management company that runs that manages that property, as well as an owner of that property. A lot of times the owner is a developer or an investor of some kind. And both the property management company and the developer or the owner of that are going to have other locations, right? So what does that mean? It means that the owner of that company, they'll sometimes take a visit just to look at their properties, and when they see that nice system, it's working great, and they see the other things that we've installed, the cameras and the key fob systems, they say, I have another property that's going to need these things, and so then they contact us, right? And so now because of this Butterfly lead, we now made a connection with a management company. We've made a connection with this developer who now wants us to be used on their other buildings. The management company does the exact same thing because they manage other properties. Maybe another property says to that management company, hey, I've got similar problems to this property that we just did stuff on. Now we're working on that property. And then later on, that property gets a different management company. They get rid of this management company. For some reason, they bring in a new one. Okay. And so what happens is that now we have a relationship with the new management company. We stay with the building. They still use us. And now we have a relationship with this property management who also has other locations. And then they are like, can you come and do stuff at those other locations? Meanwhile, the property management that left still has our contact info and they still have other locations. And so they're still, using us at other locations. So from one lead from Butterfly, that could lead to this entire ripple effect of growth over the next several years that increases our business without spending any advertising at all, without spending any money on advertising. We don't have to do a single thing on our website if we didn't want to. And that type of affiliate can make you a ton of money. You want to find an affiliate that has the kind of clients, the kind of customers that are also good for you. So if you're a dog walker or you have a dog walking business, maybe you would go make affiliates with local pet shops. Maybe you find those ones in the cities that cater, they're smaller, they're not like a PetSmart, they're a little smaller and they cater to like high-end clients. It might be something like, hey, can I give you my info and now you can sell my services to them. You'll make money, but you'll also, the shop maybe can make money on it, but they also increase their own value because now the people that come to that shop, they can get more than just dog food. They can also get other services. So if you could find some kind of relationship like that, then those shops can now share their customer base with you without you having to go knock on a bunch of doors. Affiliates are a great way to grow your company. Wouldn't you say that? I mean, you found affiliates are nice.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's been a huge part of a lot of the ways we've gotten new customers. I mean, just like the story you just said, it's like a snowball effect. It's like a family tree, if you will, of, this.
It's an affiliate success story.
It's an affiliate success story.
Yeah, and if you like affiliate success stories, why don't you give us a thumbs up so we know and share it so your friends know.
Bye.